Absolutely astonishing. I want to talk about something that I think is both an opportunity, and I think you're just spot on this, and you have college crash. Fortune magazine did a publication called The Henrys, High Income Earners Not Yet Rich. And it was talking about these people, upper middle class Americans making $250,000 to $500,000. And I remember they were talking about one couple. They said these people place a high emphasis on education. A good majority, one couple had met at Duke University, and they were putting away money for their two children, hoping that they would go to Duke University or a private college. And, Gerald, they were talking about $500,000 a kid by the year 2020. $1 million to put two kids through college. Something is not going to work here. And you're talking about a college crash here. Look how many degrees that are out there today that are useless. I mean, a lot of the stuff that people get degrees in, you can't get a job.
You mean you don't think a degree in art history will get you anywhere?
Yeah, as an art teacher.
Humanities? How about psychology? I'm taking Psych 102, you know. Well, I mean, this is insane. I mean, we went through the system. We know what it's like. We tell people if you're sending your kid to college for business administration, marketing, journalism, communications, art history, any of these soft sciences, save your money. They're not even going to be able to get a job at Sports Authority. The system is built for 20th century America. And the reason that people are putting their money into the kids like this is because what's happened over the last couple of decades is that all new children born have become special. Hey, all these special kids out there. And then when they turn a certain age, they become amazing. And for the amazing and special children, you can't spend enough money on them. And we hire interns all the time here at the Trends Research Institute. I have to tell you, Jim, these people are coming with such inflated expectations, very little respect, and giant egos. They know nothing. And as we know, the only way you learn in life is to go through it. My dear father, may he rest in peace, he used to say to me, he said, son, they say that youth is wasted on the young. He said they were talking about you. and these kids today think they know it all. And all they have is a piece of paper, and because it comes from Columbia or Princeton or Yale or some state university, they think they're holding on to something. Yeah, that and probably now $5 will get you on the subway. So, yeah, and the colleges have expanded just as stupidly and overconsumed as the consumers that have overconsumed and the businesses that have overconsumed and overexpanded with these huge projects and huge sports teams and all these bloated budgets. They've lost their direction. And I say to anyone, if you think your university's system is so great, show me the greatness that it's produced. Show me in the arts. Show me in literature. Show me in the sciences. Show me in business. Show me in the humanities. Show me. And they could show me nothing.
One thing that you talk about this in a trend post, and this, I think, is maybe where we may be going. Distance learning. I mean, I'm taking a course right now from the University of Edinburgh. We already have this in place in things like, where the jobs are going to be, conservation engineers, technologists, alternative energy, things that relate and make the economy work. Maybe that's what we're going to go back to.
Yeah, and why not? Something old is dying that deserves to die. I have no sympathy for Wall Street going under. What's bad for Wall Street's wonderful for Main Street. I mean, after all, it's Wall Street that killed Main Street. They're the ones who bundled all these packages together so these huge developers could build these atrocious-looking malls and big-box stores that sapped all the vitality out of Main Street, and working hand in glove with the politicians who gave them grants, loan guarantees, infrastructure repairs and access, you name it. Oh, always under the guise, it's going to create jobs. Oh, yeah, isn't it lovely? Stuffing shelves in Walmarts at 3 a.m. Those are the kind of jobs they created. So they sapped the vitality out of the Main Street. Now, with these failures going on, we believe there's going to be a revival of Main Street. People will again buy local, shop local, live, work, and shop all in the same area. Those are going to be the high priority areas. The commuting areas, the solar suburbs, the hour commutes, they're going to be the less desirable. So it's bad for Main Street, Wall Street can be wonderful for this country because that's what made this country great. It wasn't Walmart, Dick's Sporting Goods, Sports Authority, Starbucks, Target, or the rest of them. It was mom and pop. It was the local hardware store, not Home Depot.
If you were looking, you've got these top trends for 2009. What would surprise you the most and surprise you the least?
What would surprise us the most, the way to get out of this, the only way we can see it happening is the productive capacity. We were talking before about the 1990s, and there was a recession. The unemployment numbers were 7.2%, in 1993. And the way we got out of it was the Internet revolution. And, we're all living life differently because of the Internet. It was a product that needed service, and it was a real, productive capacity. We need the same thing. It would surprise us if something came along right away, like an alternative energy beyond solar, wind, geothermal, biofuel, something along the lines of zero-point energy or charge clusters, hydrino power, something really big. That would be the most surprise. What would surprise us the least is the crash of the collapse of '09 and the Greatest Depression. We don't see any stop to it. And we also fear a global unrest. The massacre of Gaza right now that's going on. Again, I mentioned to you earlier on, I was in D.C. in '73, and I remember the oil embargo. The only way they stopped the Arab-Israeli war back then was to cut off the oil supply, and there was no other way to defeat Israel. And we believe that they may do that again. And we also saw reports come out on January 11th that Israel was planning to bomb Iran. I give George Bush a lot of credit for this. He would not give them the bunker-busting bombs. Because if we go to war against Iran, if the United States or Israel attacks Iran, we're at the beginning of World War III. Just in case anybody's forgotten, these are the Persians. They've been around a long time. And they're not going anywhere. They're 70 million strong. They fought Iraq. We were supported by Rumsfeld and Reagan and company from 1980 to 1988, and the Iranians lost over 1 million people. You could go to our trend forecasts 1 month before the Iraq War began. We said the United States would achieve a swift battlefield victory. It would devolve into a guerrilla war and would go on endlessly until the nation either ran out of money or too many people were killed. And so that's what we're concerned about the most at this time. Because if this war spreads beyond the Gaza's borders into Lebanon, Syria, and then possibly Iran, in a time of economic calamity that we're in now, this is a worldwide, as you well know, this is a worldwide economic meltdown. You throw an oil shock on top of this, it'll be hell.
Fascinating material. Gerald, as we close, if our listeners would like to find out more about your work and your Trends Journal, please give out your website if you would.
Yes, it's trendsresearch.com. That's trendsresearch.com. And you can see our forecasts from 2008. You can go back and look at many of them throughout the years and what we're forecasting now. And as I mentioned earlier, our work is to alert people, to give them information so they can see ahead and plan ahead. And we do our very best to make it available to everyone.
All right. Well, fascinating material. And once again, congratulations on a lot of your forecasts. Somebody has called you the modern-day Nostradamus. So once again, Gerald, it's a pleasure to have you on the program. The website is called trendsresearch.com. And we've been speaking with Gerald Celente.